During my third year of university, everything in my life was fairly predictable. Lecture halls, part-time jobs, quiet evenings tucked away in the library. That is, until I met her. ****. Her name was Mira. I first noticed her in our upper-level sociology class. She walked in late one day, unapologetically confident, with that kind of energy that didn't just fill the room. It rearranged it. Mira was bold, magnetic, with laughter that rolled like thunder, drawing people in without even trying. Meanwhile, I was the quiet one in the back row, observant, careful, unnoticed. I wasn't antisocial, just introverted, more comfortable listening than performing. We were from two different worlds, and under ordinary circumstances, our paths wouldn't have crossed. But fate had a different plan during a group assignment. While brainstorming ideas, I made a quick, offhand joke. Nothing spectacular, but Mira laughed. Not a polite chuckle, but a loud, unapologetic laugh that turned heads. When her dark, piercing eyes met mine across the table, something inside me shifted. I didn't believe in moments until then. From that day we began orbiting each other. Conversations over coffee turned into late-night texts. Casual hangouts became rituals. She had a way of making you feel like you were in on something special just by being near her. Mira was effortlessly charismatic, and for a while, I felt like I'd stumbled into a hidden treasure, someone who saw beyond my quiet surface. But as our connection deepened, the sheen began to fade. I started noticing patterns. When we were alone, she was tender, thoughtful, almost vulnerable. She'd share fears, secrets, childhood memories she claimed she'd never told anyone. I felt honored to be her safe space. But in public she shifted. She became sharper. Her words, once warm and curious, turned cutting, always teetering between sarcasm and cruelty. First I thought I was being sensitive. Her biting remarks about my clothes. "You really like that jacket, huh?" Or how I paused to collect my thoughts. "Why do you always talk like you're editing yourself?" Were always followed by laughter from her friends. They'd join in, and Mira never stopped them. She never once stepped in or redirected the ridicule. If anything, she encouraged it, often smirking as if to say, "It's just a joke. Relax." What hurt more than her words was the contrast, the stark difference between the Mira I knew in private and the one who emerged in front of others. There was a strange kind of cruelty in how she'd dangle other guys' names in our conversations, watching closely for my reaction. It was subtle but deliberate, a reminder that I wasn't special. I was just one of many. Still, I clung to her. I kept initiating conversations, kept forgiving her thoughtless jabs. I told myself she was complicated, misunderstood, that if I stayed long enough, she'd let her guard down and choose me fully. But everything changed one night at a mutual friend's house party. Mira, ever the center of attention, was in her element. Drink in hand, laughter echoing, eyes scanning the room. I was nearby, quietly nursing a soda, offering the occasional comment. At some point, she pulled me into the circle and introduced me to everyone as her trusty shadow, her voice dripping with mockery. The group erupted with laughter. But for me, time slowed. My face flushed. My chest tightened. I wasn't just embarrassed, I was humiliated. And for the first time, I didn't fake a laugh. I didn't nod or play along. I simply turned and walked away. That night, I didn't text her. I didn't reply to her late message. "You good?" Winking face with tongue asterisk, or the follow-up the next morning. "What's up with you?" I stayed silent. And in that silence, something inside me settled. At first, she didn't seem to notice. But then the messages shifted. "Why are you acting so weird?" "Are you mad at me?" "Can we talk?" A few days later, she showed up at my apartment unannounced. She stood in my doorway looking unlike the Mira I was used to, stripped of performance, quieter, almost small. Her voice cracked. "It's like you're trying to hurt me," she said. "Why are you being so distant?" For the first time I saw her clearly. Not the dazzling girl I'd built up in my mind, but a deeply insecure person, clinging to the validation of others to mask her own fragility. I told her the truth, that I had cared deeply. But I respected myself too much to keep playing the fool. I wasn't going to be the person she leaned on in private while tearing down in public. I deserved consistency. I deserved kindness. She looked stunned, like no one had ever dared speak to her like that before. She didn't offer a real apology. She just stood there, expecting me to bend, to apologize for finally standing up for myself. But I didn't. I wish I could say Mira changed after that. That she reflected, apologized, transformed. But people like her only change when they choose to. Not because someone points out the damage they're causing. What changed was me. I stopped waiting to be chosen. I stopped equating mixed signals with love. I stopped justifying cruel behavior under the guise of complexity. Slowly, I began attracting people who valued me for who I was. Not as an accessory, not as a target of sarcasm, but as a person worth knowing. I still see Mira now and then. Same town, mutual friends. When our eyes meet, there's something different in her gaze. Maybe it's regret. Maybe just recognition. But I don't feel the pull anymore. I don't wonder what could have been. 'Cause I already know. I lived it. I learned from it. And I walked away stronger. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away from someone who never truly saw you. It's not weakness. It's self-respect. People like Mira rely on silence, on your willingness to absorb the pain quietly. But when you choose to speak with your absence, when you stop giving them the stage, their power fades. Not because you wanted revenge. Not because you wanted them to hurt. But because you finally chose you. And when you do, your whole world begins to change.